Hey, it's your boy Bobby B. So I want to talk about a subject that comes to mind, and that is, why is Tariq being kept from Mecca? If you guys really paid attention, Tariq has pretty much has not been around Mecca yet. Now, Tariq and Cain have some dealings with one another in terms of Tariq's looking out for Cain, pretty much keeping him away from, the trouble of Jabari, in the same way trying to get him back into the Tejada's family. And Cain, on the other hand, is running around with Little Guap and running around with Mecca. Now, how did Cain met Mecca? I want to say it was through either Little Guap or he met him through some other way. I don't know. All I know is when it comes down to it, Cain, there's a reason why Tariq is not around Mecca. Now, the whole thing is that he's so close, but then he's so far, meaning that he's always around Cain, but then he's not around Mecca. He's around Monet, but then he's not around Mecca. And Mecca has a past with Monet, as we found out. Mecca's name is Dante, but we still don't know his last name. When it comes down to it, though, with Tariq and Mecca not being around each other for like the first two episodes, because I want to say Tariq and Mecca has the biggest presence in the show in terms of, like, Tariq is, of course, the main protagonist of the show, whereas there's also Monet and there's also Cain, and I want to say they're called the dual antagonists or something like that. They're the supporting main protagonist, but at the same time, I want to say both Cain and Monet switches to antagonists to some degree too, so they're always switching. When it comes down to it, though, Mecca is, I want to say, maybe the main antagonist of the show. He could be, but the situation is, why is Tariq being kept away from him? I'm gonna tell you why. This is called good writing, and what I mean by good writing is basically this: when the main hero is like away from the main villain, because Tariq has been dealing with a lot in these first two episodes. He's been dealing with Yasmin, he's been dealing with, the whole Jabari thing, he's been dealing with like Tate and Braden and Prince, just a whole bunch of stuff. Like, a lot of stuff is coming at Tariq a lot. He's really been on campus a lot, really, if you look at it. We're handling some stuff in related to drugs here and there, but he's mainly been on campus. But see, this is great writing, and what I mean is that whenever Tariq does come across Mecca, because now Mecca knows who Tariq is, and why I'm saying that is because he's speaking to Cain about Tariq, saying, if you want to get some information on Tariq, you're going to have to follow him. So Cain obviously makes it aware to Mecca who Tariq is, which means that Cain is still trying to betray Tariq to some degree. Like, even though Tariq is having that man's back, he's still trying to overdo him. Tariq said, I'll get you back in the family. Cain steals the product, switches it out, and he's brought himself back to the family. Diana and Drew are already suspicious of him. Tariq, on the other hand, said he was trying to do it, and of course, whenever Tariq say he's going to bring him back in the family, and Cain just go ahead and do it on his own, this creates a situation, because now this gives Cain a form of leverage, but not really. But when it comes down to it, though, with Tariq being kept away from Mecca, it's because when the main protagonist finally meets the main antagonist, it's a big situation. Now, don't get it twisted. It could be that Tariq and Mecca, when they meet each other, it could be a high and by, or it could be they start talking to each other and going at it with one another. It could be a situation where basically Mecca either looks at Tariq as a threat, or Mecca either looks at Tariq as somebody he can take under his wing. Truth be told, I want to say that Mecca might see Tariq as a better apprentice than Cain, and this could create conflict, because then there's always that whole vibe that Mecca might be Cain's dad, and not only that, he may look at Mecca like a dad figure. Either way it go, if he looks at Tariq and say Tariq is more like me, then he probably would take Tariq under his wing. Or if he thinks Tariq is a threat, he may look at Tariq and say, we're going to have to shut him down. And he may put up a situation, Monet is feeling Mecca, they got a pass. He may turn Monet against Tariq, and he may turn Cain against Tariq. Or it might be a situation where it's like, fuck you, Cain, I got Monet, I don't really care about you. Cain teams up with Tariq to take Mecca down. Either way, though, it goes. When it comes down to Mecca and Tariq, they're being kept away from one another for a reason, until they finally do meet up with one another, which they're going to have to meet up with one another. And it's going to be, I want to say, probably a big situation. It might be a big conversation or something like that. If you ever pay attention to the Batman movies, Batman is kept away from the villains for like most of the movie until he finally meets them. And when he finally does, it's a big situation. It's a big, talk. It's a big, like vibing, studying. It's a big conversation. It's a big thing. So I'm kind of expecting Tariq and Mecca, when they meet each other, to have a conversation with one another, to speak with one another, and to possibly even go at it with one another. So we'll have to see how this goes. But that's pretty much me. I just want to say to all of you that it is your boy, Bobby Beast here. I just want to say much love, much respect, and I just want to say, I'm tripping on my own words. Hold it down, and one.
Quote.
This is a quote from my book, Shit's Not Checkers, It's Chess. listen more, see more, smell more, and talk less. It is on Amazon and Kindle.